Gun control came just in time for the safety of the citizens of Canada. As many of you know, there was a man who went on a shooting spree in a northern suburb of Canada, of which there were 5 people killed. Now, officials have identified the suspect as a 73-year-old resident of the building who happened to go after those individuals who were on the association board. Now, this person has fallen under all the new laws that Canada has implemented when it comes to gun control to keep them safe, right? You may recognize some of this as you've heard with Illinois' proposal of HB 5855, where there are similar assault weapons bans and restrictions on gun rights. This is coming in from CNN Canada. More gun restrictions than the U.S. Sunday's killings come in the wake of fresh moves by Canada's government to tighten gun control laws in the country, which has more gun regulation and far less gun violence. Now, they talk about this, although the population of Canada is somewhere in the, let me see here, I want to say about the 30 million mark. I could be wrong. Whereas the United States has 332 million. There is a disparity there based on the numbers alone. Fact is, friends, all of the regulation on firearms that are illegal to be in possession of and the necessary means to register those firearms and all the other restrictions that Canada has placed on their citizens clearly has not worked. And what I find concerning, and I feel like I'm a voice in the desert screaming at the top of my lungs, because Illinois, it is coming to our state where folks will need to register their firearms, will no longer be able to purchase, sell, or transfer any type of semi-automatic rifle or shotgun. Magazine bans, they're all coming, guys. If you are not aware of this stuff, definitely check in on my previous videos where I talk more in depth in it. The fact of the matter is we haven't heard much about this mass shooting in Canada, which happened yesterday in the evening, much on the news, because we're seeing that the more regulation, the more restrictions on citizens being able to protect themselves does not work. And in fact, in that horrendous, horrific evil person who did that act in Canada in the northern suburbs was ultimately stopped by a copper with a gun. Too bad there wasn't somebody available in that building when that Looney Tune went on that murderous spree who could have stopped them on their own accord. I don't know, folks. It just, I don't get it. And it seems like the folks of Illinois are either complacent or I'm not reaching enough people about what is coming in the state of Illinois when it comes to the Second Amendment being poo-pooed on. But I don't know. I could just keep going. Hopefully you'll share this video, subscribe, comment, let the algorithm know that this topic is important to us. Because it's a coming. It's a coming, folks. There's nothing that can stop. And I know Springfield, Illinois, and I know everyone keeps saying that the Supreme Court will strike it down, but how long is that going to take? Will the damage not already be done? So I find it a bit concerning. Also, millions of people across the United States are about to experience the coldest Christmas of their lifetime. Cold air is coming in from Siberia. This is going to be large portions of the U.S. Folks, we're going to have heavy snow. Some people are going to get as much as 2 feet of snow. We're looking at wind chills being dangerously cold, a lot of snow. So here's the deal. Expect there's going to be power outages, widespread power outages somewhere in the U.S., as well as transportation is going to become crippled throughout the holiday season, guys. You might just get stuck with your in-laws that you love so very much for a few extra days, because you ain't going to be able to get the car out of the driveway, and you ain't going to be able to get to the airport or leave the airport for that matter. So buckle up, get those generators filled up. Make sure you got enough gas in your cars. Basic preps, guys. Get a preparedness kit for inside your vehicle in case you find yourself stranded somewhere in a ditch. And let's face it, help is not always on the way, or help, it may be on the way at a period of time that could be 24 hours for all we know, right? This is going to be crippling. It's a coming, and it's going to hit millions of folks. Also coming in from, I believe, NBC. Guys, I don't know about you. My spidey senses are telling me that something is a coming when it comes to the economy. I know we keep hearing the talking heads saying that it's going to be fine. I don't know. I think the numbers coming in for 2023, the unemployment numbers are going to be very high. A lot of layoffs are coming. We're seeing the market day after day after day is closing in the red. And I don't know. I'm finding it concerning, but there's an underlying problem, and we're starting to see automobile repossessions surge as folks are not able to make their car notes. Folks are canceling their insurance for their automobile, which means if you find yourself in a car accident, there's an increased chance that the person, the other party, doesn't have insurance any longer. Why? They can't afford it. It appears as if inflation has soaked up all people's abilities to afford any extracurricular activity. They're putting all their bills on their credit cards, and those chickens are coming home to roost. I don't know. I find it to be a bit disconcerting. That is a strong indicator, as repossessions of cars are rising, that there is an underlying issue in the economy, and I have a feeling it's only going to become exacerbated. That's really a problem for the banks, if you think about it. Small and medium-sized banks who are giving out these loans for these overpriced cars throughout 2020, 2021. These folks paid an exorbitant price, and now they're not able to pay it. Those banks are going to have to take possession. Mainly medium and small banks are going to have to take possessions of all this inventory, which is not going to be worth much anymore because the used car market is absolutely flooding, and folks are running out of money. They're running out of money. They can't afford the basic needs, and we're seeing the wealthy are now moving to Target and Walmart. The middle class is spending less at Target and Walmart, and the lower middle class or poor are basically SOL and are struggling very much so. So, folks, I can only encourage you, none of us have that crystal balls, right, to look into, but we need to prepare ourselves. That's what I am as a firearms instructor, as a self-defense educator and trainer. And yes, I will admit I am a prepper. Now, not some way out there fringe. I am a man, a father who believes that I need to provide for my family and for my family and neighbors and my community if I can help. And it's imperative that you are prepped, because when you are prepped, whether it be financially, guys, I can only encourage you, get out of debt. Get out of debt now. We're seeing interest rates are really pummeling the American people. Get out of debt. Start buying and acquiring some of the basics when it comes to firearms, tactical first aid, good non-perishable food storage. These things are absolutely critical for your ultimate safety and survival to weather this, in my opinion, it's just one man's opinion, economic storm. I believe there's a crisis approaching, guys, and I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I look back at this video and say I was so wrong, but just, I don't know, my gut's telling me otherwise. All the signs are there. Just the geopolitical tension. That's another thing is if you decide to invest some money, maybe in the industrial, maybe military complex. Look at what is happening with nations around the world, from India, Pakistan, Poland, obviously the United States, Europe, China, Taiwan. These countries are spending billions upon billions, if not trillions upon trillions, in arming themselves to the teeth. They are purchasing excess ammo and artillery and all the tools that are necessary to defend their sovereign nations and borders. If these nations are doing it as a whole, then I think as individuals, we too need to prepare. But I really believe that in the near future, we're going to start seeing some very high geopolitical tensions, and it's absolutely imperative that we prep ourselves financially by getting out of debt. We prep ourselves physically by having enough food storage and means of self-defense and medical storage and ability to help our neighbors. And I think we ought to prepare ourselves mentally for troublesome times that are ahead of us. Again, hopefully I'm wrong. America, I do love you, and I thank you. Hit the subscribe button, share, comment, like, let other people know about this channel, as well as click on the link in this description, as it directly supports this channel, and you get a 100% free survival guide by clicking on the link in the description. It helps support the channel, and you'll ultimately get a free gift from me to you for you to enjoy and use throughout the future. All right, I think I'm out of here. I hope you got some good information out of this, folks. And as always, America, keep your head on a swivel. Remember to give thanks to God, and I'll be seeing you all soon. Remain safe.